Also at the top of the charts are Sigue Sigue Sputnik, who are turning heads, at least in the rock business, with manifestos to quote by and plans to rule the world.
What we need is designer violence.
The ultraviolence that we see it's a fantasy comic book violence, and it's the same when you go and watch those great movies, you know, those sci-fi, Star Wars, Western movies like Mad Max 3, and, you know, when you see Terminator, you know, or you see that violence and that excitement coming out at you at the screen, you know, and that's what we portray. We're not glorifying or inciting senseless violence, you know, streetwise or any other kind, you know, because I completely abhor that and I don't wish to be associated with it. You know, this group is about enjoyment and fun.
How do your audiences react to you? Do they understand what you're trying to say about ultraviolence, or do they get a little confused?
I think that we draw a certain weirdo element from society. We get all the psychos.
Yeah.
Every time we go to, right, you know, there's a lot of psychos out, you know, with, like, guns wanting to, like, to kill the group, you know, because it's something, you know, which has been unleashed on people that hasn't happened since, you know, the time when punk happened. And, of course, like, there's, like, this really big pent-up energy, you know, which, like, people can't release because there hasn't been anything like Sigue Sigue Sputnik. And it's exciting, and it's innovative, and it's new, you know, so, of course, you know, people, you know, just want to go wild, you know, they want to come to the gigs, right, you know, because it's like, yeah, it's like Sigue Sigue Sputnik, and they're going to rule the world, right, and we say, you rule the world with us, you know.
Mercury, luxury, shell-stop and face-stop me. I'm a space cowboy, I'm a 21st century Milwaukee boy.
Ladies and gentlemen, Elvis 1990.
I'm a space cowboy. I'm a 21st century Milwaukee boy.
Sigue Sigue Sputnik have plans to buy EMI, their record company, and turn themselves into a mega corporation that sells everything from makeup to haircuts. And on their upcoming album, they are selling commercial breaks to run between each cut on the record. Big ideas from a band that really can't play.
Well, you know, for the first 2 or 3 years, we'd done cover versions of Gene Vincent, you know, Elvis, you know, Eddie Cochran, you know, all that great rock and roll. And we demoed all our songs before we could play them. I mean, the drummers couldn't play, you know, the guitarists couldn't play, I couldn't sing, I still can't, but, I mean, it just, you know, it's overall the fact, you know, that I was going to be such a huge star anyway, that it didn't really make any difference whether I could sing in tune. I mean, obviously I can now because I've had the experience, but, I mean, I think it's more important, you know, to flaunt an attitude rather than, you know, being a boring singer, you know, that goes to boring, you know, singing lessons.
What has sex got to do with Sigue Sigue Sputnik?
Sex, I think, you know, that we flaunt sexuality. I mean, you know, I think we're the most pretty group alive.